It's been a week like no other, as is often the case that the last week of the parliamentary term is overloaded with work that needs to be finalized. Parliament entered the week with National Assembly Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula having taken special leave in order to fend off corruption allegations against her. Her deputy, Lechisa Tsinodi, took over in an acting capacity and immediately accepted a no-confidence motion against Mapisa-Nqakula as tabled by the DA. The date of the motion is yet to be announced, but Tsinodi read out the letter where Mapisa-Nqakula outlines the reasons for her decision to take special leave.
I'm aware of the implications that such an investigation may have on me, my work, and the office I occupy. It is for this reason, after serious consideration, that I felt it necessary that I should take special leave of absence to protect the integrity and functioning of the institution of Parliament. This is despite my already pronounced innocence on the allegations made public against me.
Tsinodi is now acting speaker, and one of his first major tasks was to consider a report sanctioning 10 MPs for failing to declare their financial interests in 2023. The lawmakers will be fined 20 days' salary and have been reprimanded.
It is apparent from the committee report that you were provided fair opportunity to present your records, and not having done so to adequately explain your failure, your actions had the potential to erode the public interest, public trust in Parliament. Honourable members, this is unacceptable, objectionable, and deserving of serious consequences.
On Thursday, Deputy President Paul Mashatile was before the National Assembly to answer oral questions. He confirmed that he has received a corruption complaint against him and he will respond to the Ethics Committee by this coming week. The Deputy President has had to respond to allegations that his alleged lavish homes in Cape Town and Johannesburg are allegedly sponsored by his son-in-law while they have not been declared.
There are allegations that have been leveled against him. All I'm asking him is to take the country into his confidence and provide some insight into that. There's nothing absolutely out of order with doing that. I'm not leveling accusations against him. I'm not besmirching his name. I'm asking him, based on his commitment, will he, on this platform, to the people of this country, provide some insight? Because he has yet to do so.
I have received questions from the Ethics Committee after she complained to Parliament, and I will be responding to those questions, which is basically the issues that she's raising. So perhaps Honorable Kwahube can wait for that moment. They've given me 7 days to clarify those issues. So those responses will definitely come to Parliament next week. And Honorable Kwahube will be free to see those responses.
Mashatile also confirmed that he was appointed by President Cyril Ramaphosa to lead a task team into the water crisis in the country. On Wednesday, the National Assembly also heard concerns about the financial sustainability of South African Airways. This follows the cancellation of the sale of 51% stake of the airline to Takatso Consortium. The sale was said to be intended to win off the entity from relying on government bailouts.
What will the government be doing to ensure the sustainability of SAA post the cancellation of this transaction? This ANC-led government is not serious about introducing private sector investment into our beleaguered and ailing SOEs, such as SAA, and weaning them off completely from a chronic dependence on taxpayer-funded bailouts.
But the Public Enterprises Ministry says the national carrier will be sustainable for the next 18 months and there is no plan for privatization.
60% for the state and 40% for an equity partner. But that, unfortunately, could not be achieved because the airline was in trouble, was grounded, and was in almost liquidation. So, therefore, privatization was not our first option.
On the committee's front, Public Accounts Watchdog SCOPA ordered the National Treasury to get its house in order in resolving the multi-billion rand integrated finance management system contract. This, as the Special Investigating Unit maintains that the contract was irregular, it must be cancelled, money spent recouped, and the contractor must be blacklisted. The integrated finance management system aimed to modernize the resource management system of the public service and has been in the making for the past 19 years. National Treasury disagrees with the SIU findings and says it's awaiting for a final report on the legality of the contract. The SIU wants the contract, which has allegedly cost at least 2 billion rand, to be cancelled.
The findings that we make, even before the President's report is submitted, those stand. And those have got a legal standing, right? They have in themselves legal standing. If we have made a finding that the contract is irregular, based on that we are able to institute civil proceedings, even before the President's report is submitted.
We disagree with their findings. We disagree that the contract was irregularly awarded, and we take each step of the procurement process and we outline why we believe that we have complied with the procurement process. So all of that detail has been provided. We disagree that there has been fruitless and wasteful expenditure, and without going into the details thereof, we explain why we disagree. And we've made a comprehensive submission in that.
Treasury, don't invite trouble for yourselves, in the sense that you be the ones to set into motion precedents which will come back to frustrate you as the National Treasury and the work that you do for public finance management.
Meanwhile, the National Assembly has passed several important bills in the House this week. They include the Gold and Foreign Exchange Contingency Reserve Defrayal Amendment Bill, GFRECA. The bill aims to allow National Treasury to tap into the gold and foreign exchange reserves to the tune of 150 billion rand to pay off debt in the medium term.
The amendment establishes the rules as to how to deal with the excess in this account in the future. The amendment allows positive balances to be distributed in what is called a waterfall arrangement to 3 pools. GFRECA buffer to mitigate risk in case of rand appreciation shock, South African Reserve Bank contingency reserve, and annual distribution once the 2 pools are adequately taken care of. This arrangement allows for proper risk management for the account and allows the Minister of Finance access to these government resources when needed and according to these rules.
The DA does not support the raiding of this account, and it's a bad idea that shows what a desperate government does when you run out of other people's money.
The House has also approved the Division of Revenue Bill and the Second Adjustment Appropriation Bill. The DORA Bill gives allocations to 3 spheres of government, provides for the public workers' wage increases, as well as addressing infrastructure backlogs.
Of the 2.37 trillion total consolidated expenditure, a whopping 1.41 trillion is for the social wage. This means that this is the money which goes to education, health, human settlements, public transport, and social grants. This is 60% of the total budget. This money ensures that our people get free education, our children eat at school, they have access to free health care, there's grant for the elderly, our children and the unemployed.
The provincial equitable share, the lifeblood of provincial services, is being slashed by billions. 19 billion in 1 year, 20 billion the second year, 21 billion further down the line in 3 years. And let's not forget the conditional grants. reduced by 6 billion, 9 billion, and 11.8 billion over the medium term. This isn't belt tightening, it is strangulation.
One of the first things that we'll do is to get rid of this useless layer called provinces, where money is, people don't know what to do with it. In Northwest, instead of using their money properly, they buy donkeys and carts. In the Eastern Cape, instead of using the money properly, they are busy with some useless scooter ambulance project. The EFF will ensure that the proper equitable share is sent to the local government where it matters, where the rubber hits the road.
The General Intelligence Laws Amendment Bill, GILAB, was also given the green light. The bill aims to provide for an independent Inspector General of Intelligence and separate the domestic and foreign service intelligence agencies. The bill aims to correct past irregularities in the intelligence agencies going back to 2009.
The establishment of SSA through a presidential proclamation in 2009 was irregular, deviating from constitutional requirements. Despite subsequent legislative amendments, challenges persisted, leading to the formation of the High-Level Review Panel in 2018 to address issues within SSA. The General Intelligence Law Amendment Bill, GILAB 2023, seeks to implement the recommendations of the High-Level Review Panel by undoing the SSA and creating distinct domestic and foreign intelligence services, clarifying mandates and addressing legal and procedural shortcomings.
Other key legislation passed this week are the Expropriation Bill, which provides for the expropriation of land and buildings in the public interest for the purposes like infrastructure development. The other legislation that got the thumbs up is the Pension Funds Amendment Bill, which will allow workers to cash in a portion of their pensions from September this year. Ulelani Philip, SABC News, Parliament.